What's good, y'all? This is Let's Get It with Coach Los. I'm your host, Coach Los AC, certified life and relationship coach that helps people fix or find the relationships they want. And this podcast covers the best relationship advice, tools, and action steps to get the results you want in your personal, professional, and of course, love life. So I hope you get a lot of value from the episode. And if you do, as always, remember to like and subscribe so you can be notified when I drop new episodes. Let's get it. How do you really know when it's time to call it quits and walk away from that relationship? Whenever you've done all you can and it's finally time to say, hey, it's best we part ways for both of your betterment. And I'm going to tell you, it's when you have consistently been the example of positivity, of solutions, of trying to figure out how to understand and serve your partner in the equation to the best of your ability without their attempt to return the favor or meet you halfway or reciprocate the same efforts to bring you guys to a healthy and happy space again. What that means is you have to have owned your part in whatever your contribution to the issue was in the relationship. No matter if you both have done something to the other person or just one of you have, we all have a part we have to own and whether we're contributing to the solution or adding more fuel on the fire. And so when I say take accountability and own your part, that means say you're the one that were wronged, right? Are you doing your part on what's necessary to forgive? Yes, your partner needs to step up and start trying to make amends and start trying to do better. But are you actually giving them a slate of grace to where you're willing to embrace forgiving them? Or are you holding on to resentment? Are you still being negative and mean and all the time, right? And defensive, and you say little, sly comments, or you attack them or so forth because you're still hurting or you feel like they haven't, rectified things. You're not helping the situation, you're hurting it more, right? Even if they do the right stuff for you to forgive them, or are you actually going to decide to forgive them? See, forgiveness is a two-way street, right? It's not only the person, seeking forgiveness and going and trying to do things to make it right. And you say, okay, I'll forgive you for that. You have to internally decide that you're okay forgiving as long as you're clear on seeing and getting what you need to see or experience in order to feel comfortable and confident to forgive. Or are you owning your part in the equation to which you maybe have done something that's offended your partner or hurt them? Are you actually validating how they feel? Are you seeking to understand what they need to feel good in the relationship again? And are you actually taking steps to do that? Or are you just coming up to your own conclusions on what you think will make things right and how you feel they need you to show up now, right? Are you getting clear on them? Are you focusing on serving your partner? Are you consistently speaking to them in a constructive way? Being inquisitive to learn and understand, or are you being accusatory and attacking, right? Are you being sarcastic? Are you being disingenuous with questions you ask to where you say you're asking it to get a simple answer to understand some things that don't make sense to you, but you're really saying it in a way that kind of feels interrogative and it really alludes to you trying to poke around and trying to catch them in something to where they feel like they're this bad guy, they have to defend their character. Simply put, are you spending more time leading with love in the way you proactively approach your partner with whatever the situation is, or even how you respond to them? Or are you mixing negativity sprinkled in there to where it has the surface illusion of, it's harmless. I'm just trying to be positive. I'm trying to understand, trying to work through this with you. But it has all sorts of, undermined intent in it. And after you can confirm that you've been 100% trying to be nothing but a contribution to the situation, right? And the way you approach it or the way you respond to it, leading with love or reacting with love, and always having the focus in mind toward the relationship goal you guys have, and not trying to be any part of the detriment and nothing but a contribution to the solution and you guys' growth. If you've been doing that consistently for a period of time, right? A period of time no less than 30 days at bare minimum, then and only then can you start even thinking in a lane of, okay, maybe it's time to call it if I've been doing all of this and I'm getting no results in return. Now, I say this because, see, what gets most of us stuck in the middle on do I stay or do I go is because we have not done our own vetting process and dotted our I's and crossed our T's and made sure I've done everything I was supposed to do here. In the back of our mind, it's still a question of, I don't know if I have, right? And on top of that, sometimes we get caught in that fear space of, well, am I going to find something better, or am I going to just be alone if I walk away? Is it really that bad? You start trying to convince yourself to stay because of the fear of the other side, right? But a lot of that comes from us not seeing our full value. And we don't see our full value because we haven't been doing all the things I just described to prove to ourselves, man, I'm a pretty awesome partner. So if they won't work with me, someone else will. But like anything else we start to believe in, you have to be that person consistent enough, long enough, to where you look up and you really feel like I'm really that person. I'm really that valuable of a person. You can't do all the right things one week and then start to believe, oh yeah, I am going to just find someone else, or, I have done everything I can. You're not going to believe it in here because you haven't built the habits, right? Just like trusting someone. You don't trust someone after a week or a few days. You have to see them do the same things consistently, repetitiously over time till you look up and you say, that's who this person is. I can trust that about them. The same thing works for your ability to be confident in walking away from a relationship that you've done everything you can and you left it all on the table. And the other reason why you give it 30 days to do the right thing consistently that long is because it typically takes 4 to 6 weeks to create a new habit or break an old one. And so I say that because life and relationships work in momentum. So just because you start doing all the right things today and for a week or two, doesn't mean your partner's going to catch on that fast, because maybe you got it and saw the light before them. They need time to break the pattern themselves and catch the new pattern and have time to adjust and try to match you, which someone will, because if you are being the more positive person, right? Positivity always wins out. No one wants to be the bad guy. So your partner will sooner try to match you as they catch on that things are shifting and changing, because they don't want to sit there and feel like they're being a bad person. But sometimes people's journey takes longer than others. And sometimes people are being stubborn and holding on to not changing because something internally is helping them protect a void by not changing. So you give it at least 30 days into maybe a month and a half and plus, so your partner can truly catch on and give them time to adjust and come around the way you did, right? But after that point, if they have not started to work with you and they're refusing to change, then now you have a decision to make on whether you're going to continue this ride of a situation that's not getting any positive results. Because if you've done the things you're supposed to do consistently, tried and true, and you've been nothing but a contribution to the solution and not helping the problem at all, and you've done it for a month plus to where you believe, I know I've done everything I can possible, and your partner's still not working with you, then now you have to ask yourself the question, why am I going to keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result? The definition of insanity, right? And so it's at that point where you have the true realization that you've done everything you can. And then emotionally, you'll start to detach as well, because there's nothing else more you can give. That's when you know it's time to leave. So if you're stuck in the middle on whether to stay or leave your relationship, you want to build yourself to be able to have that full confident clarity on whether to stay or to go, either email me or DM me coaching, and we will get to work if you're ready to put the work in. Let's get it.